Peace. How you doing? I'm gonna do something a little bit different today. Usually I do hip hop album reviews. I do big videos. I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna do a movie review. Something I haven't done since I did a movie review for the movie Maniac with Joe Spinell that was released in 1980. Go peep that if you're into slasher films like I am. Go peep that. But if you haven't checked it, go peep the movie review somewhere in my playlist, whatever, my uploads, excuse me. But without further ado, I'm gonna do two movies today. Very short and sweet. That I'm gonna do is Wes Craven's second film, The Hills Have Eyes. This is the original, by the way. This is not the remake by Alexandre Aja that people know. You know what I mean? This is the second film that he produced, that he directed. Everybody knows that his first film was The Last House on the Left, which is a dope movie, which I do have in my collection. Um, the Hills Have Eyes is about an all-American family, the Carters, doing a cross-country trip to California, all the way from Ohio, I believe Cleveland, Ohio, and the father that plays the father of the family, um, was a sheriff, or he was a cop, he was a police officer, or detective back in Cleveland, Ohio, and he's a retired cop, and they're about to make a trip to California, and on their way to California, they were like in the desert in the southwest, and excuse me, yeah, in the desert, and then like while they going there, they get lost and stuff like that, and you know how and then back then they didn't have GPSs, so they had to use the map, old school way, and they get lost or whatever, and so they thought it was a good idea to just take a shortcut or whatever, but what they didn't know is that it, that in the desert, where they were, well, let me get to the story. And then they took the shortcut, and throughout the journey, their trailer blows a tire, and they get stuck, and there's no way of getting help. They have to walk like 50 miles or something like just to get help or some shit like that, some crazy ass shit like that. And so but what they don't know is that where they're at is was a nuclear testing site for the Air Force. Well, it was, but it's deserted, and also over there lies a family of inbred cannibals, to basically put it like that. And throughout the whole movie, the movie is like the family trying to survive and stuff like that. It's a pretty dope movie. It got some nice kills. You know what I mean? This movie is actually given an X-rated by the MPAA. And for those who don't know what the MPAA is, they're pretty much the organization that gives the films the ratings. They're in charge of the ratings, whether or not to give it an R rating or PG-13, all that good stuff. I guess people that gave this a video nasty. I guess, I'm not sure, but it's a pretty decent movie. What's cool about this film, I love the score for one. It's a pretty dope score. The score is done by what's his name? Don Peake. And for those who don't know who Don Peake is, if you guys are familiar with the TV show, the 80s TV show Knight Rider with David Hasselhoff, well, he does the theme song for that TV series and the score for the whole TV series and stuff like that. So now you guys know who Don Peake is, and the features this guy is 6.1 surround sound and 5.1 Dolby. Well, DTS 6.1 surround sound and 5.1 Dolby surround sound, which is pretty cool. So if you have a sound system, it's a pretty clean sound. It's pretty nice. It's pretty dope. And audio commentary with writer director Wes Craven and Peter Locke, producer Peter Locke. If you're into slasher films, like I am, you'll definitely enjoy this film. This is Hills Have Eyes, made in 1977. Must have. This is the original, not the remake that came out in 2006. By the way, this is the 2003 Anchor Bay version that I have. They have it on Blu-ray, so if you have it on if you don't have if you have a Blu-ray DVD player or PS3, you find it on Blu-ray, go cop it. I might do the same, you know what I mean, when I get a PS3. So, Hills Have Eyes, 1977. Go cop it. Second film review for today is The Hills Have Eyes Part 2. This was released in 1985, 8 years later after Hills Have Eyes. This was actually made in 1984, and it was released in 84. And the reason I say that is because if you watch at the end of the credits, it actually says 1984. Little backstory for this movie. This movie here, Wes Craven needed some money. He was broke, so I'm assuming that he did this film before Nightmare on Elm Street, because everybody knows Wes Craven for that movie. That's his that was his I guess his breakthrough film. Excuse me, tongue twister right there. So hence he wrote the script for Hills Have Eyes Part 2, and Hills Have Eyes Part 2 was born. Little backstory to this film, or plot, or we're going to call it synopsis, I guess you want to say it. One of the survivors of the first film, appears in the film. This person keeps getting flashbacks from the events of the first one, but then this person befriends a group of friends that are bikers, that's part of a biking racing team, and they're about to make a trip. They're about to make a trip to the I guess somewhere in the West Coast, or I'm assuming it's California, but whatever. It's a bike racing team. They all get in a bus, whatever. Same scenario as the first one. They cut through the desert, trying to get to the shortcut, and the tires bust. The tires bust and stuff like that. The tire blown out, whatever, and the bus broke down, stuff like that. And no, excuse me, the fuel pump, the fuel tank of the bus was leaking. You know what I mean? So they got stuck and stuff like that. And so they're in the test, and like the first one, it's the same area what happened in the first one. The events, with the inbred cannibal family, and whatchamacallit, but this time it's just a whole bunch of bikers, you know what I mean? They get stuck, and throughout the whole movie is them trying to survive throughout the whole movie against these cannibals. This movie, I like it, but it's not the best. It's obviously not as better as the first one. This one's a little bit more cheesy than the first one. It's not as suspenseful as the first one. This was released by Image Entertainment. This is the 2002 version, and this is the only one that's out now. This movie is actually very hard to come by, and that's because it's out of print. And how I got this movie, quick story about that. Oh, by the way, before I get to that, Wes Craven hates this movie. By the way, he detests it. Getting back to my story, how I got this movie was there's a store that I go to in West Palm Beach where it's a mom and pop store, it's an independent store, which I like going to those kind of stores because they usually have a lot of good selections. And in that store, they specialize in horror movies, B horror movies or B movies or independent movies, like any hard to get movies. That's the store I usually go to really get. If you don't want to go to the internet, the only thing with that store, you have to pay full price, the full retail price. But sometimes it's worth it. Like if you're a fan of horror movies, like I am, definitely a dope store to go to. They sell records, VHSs, cassette tapes, all that good stuff. But anyways, when I used to be heavy on my horror movie digging back in the day. I used to always see this movie in the shelves. You know what I mean? And I would say, yo, I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna keep picking it up. But I wasn't getting something else. And you know how they say, when you lay your eyes on something, you should always get it. The first time you see it, go buy it. I actually I had to learn that the hard way because I went to the store a couple weeks ago when I got this movie, and well, actually last month, I should say, and this they didn't have it in the shelves, so I asked the lady that worked there, like, oh, I'm looking for Hell's Have Eyes Part 2, and she thought I was talking about the one that was released in 2007, but what I was talking about was this one, the 1985 version, and she was saying like the movie's out of print. I was like, oh man. But I guess somebody that she knows, like a connect that she has, she said she could get it for me. The original price for this was $9.99, but I had to pay $10 extra, so it came into like $19.99 plus tax, so it came into like $21 or some shit like that, 21 something, 21 and change. But I got it and waited like a week and a half or whatever, a week. And then she called me up like, hey, the movie's in, picked it up, watched it, and I liked it. The movie's good. I like it. It's not as suspenseful as the first one. Obviously, like I said before, a couple gripes about this movie. Well, the positives are, I like the graininess of the film. I mean, it's not totally dark, but it's decent lighting. But what I really like about this film is the score, and the score is done by Harry Manfredini. And when people watch this film, a lot of people's gonna think, oh, the background music, the score is reminiscent of Friday the 13th. Well, that's because Wes Craven hired Harry Manfredini, who is responsible for a lot of the Friday the 13th film scores for all the series and stuff like. Well, at least the early ones that I know of. I don't know if he did like for Jason Goes to Hell and all that bull crap and shit like that. But he did the score for that, so that's why it's reminiscent to. It has like that Friday the 13th feel to it, and also the cinematography has that Friday the 13th feel to it. My gripe with this was that the kills could have been a little bit better. I mean, it has like one nice kill that I like, but it could have been a little bit better. And this movie has like more of a comedic feel to it, in my opinion. And that goes for this guy right here, Pluto, played by Michael Berryman, which I'll get to in a minute. He's not as menacing as the first one. He's not as menacing as the first one. But overall, he does his thing in the movie. And the thing is too, with Michael Berryman, the actor that played Pluto, I looked him up, and he has a disease or a disorder, or a defect, I should say. It's a long title. I forgot the name of it, but pretty much he was born with 26 birth defects, and one of them is the shape of his head. Obviously, he has no hair, like no pubic hair, no eyebrows, none of that. He has no sweat glands and no fingernails. So which is crazy. He's a dope actor, but unfortunately, because of his defect, I should say, he's only prone to do like sci-fi films, horror films based on his defect, which is kind of fucked up because he might want to do a comedy film, but people won't take him seriously because of his appearance. But what can you do? He's making bread, you know what I mean? So I guess he could take that for that. But this movie's actually out of print. Good luck finding it. I mean, if you want to get this film, You go on Amazon.com or eBay or any of the online outlets and stuff like that. Um, and I read up also that they have a Hell's Have Eyes Part 3, which was directed by Wes Craven's son Jonathan Craven, which is extremely hard to get because it was a directed video. It wasn't released in theaters. It was actually directed to yeah, it's direct to video type of film by HBO. It was on HBO, I guess on cable, and it went to straight to VHS or whatever. And the DVD version is very hard to get, impossible to get. So good luck finding that one. I want to see that one, but I don't know if it's as good. Obviously it's not gonna be as good, but I still want to see it. And that's it for the hip hop for the slasher movies review. Excuse me. So now you guys have seen The Hills Have Eyes Part 1, Hills Have Eyes Part 2. I like this film. This is a pretty good film. The kills could have been better, but I do like the score. This is a very underrated film. So hope you guys enjoyed that review. So if you like slasher films like I do, go happy digging. Go look finding them. Tell me what you guys think about the movies. If you guys seen the movies, if you haven't seen the movies, if you like the films, you didn't like the films, let me know. Post them down in the comment box. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.